Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Beyond Crazy. 7. Chase T. Reynolds. 32-year-old Chase T. Reynolds and 46-year-old Victoria De La Fuente were roommates and shared a home in Lemoore, California. Police were dispatched to the home due to a disturbance on the evening of September 2nd, 2011. While the two women assured officers all was well, it would be less than an hour before things took a tragic turn. Within 45 minutes after the police left their home, Reynolds poured gasoline all over De La Fuente and set her on fire with a cigarette lighter. Showing no remorse at all for her roommate, Reynolds simply sat in the driveway and watched as De La Fuente burned on the garage floor. Thankfully, a passerby saw the fire and stopped, trying to put out the flames until first responders arrived. De La Fuente survived the horrific ordeal, but underwent 20 surgeries, suffered burns to over half of her body, and lost her right eye due to Reynolds' cruelty. Reynolds was charged with first-degree attempted murder and aggravated mayhem with great bodily harm and was sentenced to 12 years to life in prison. Number 6. Randy Barr. 44-year-old Randy Barr and 44-year-old Marion Krug were roommates in Scranton, Pennsylvania. They got into an argument after Barr claimed that Krug threatened to poison his dog on January 21, 2010. In his anger, Barr decided to pour lighter fluid on Krug while she was watching TV and then flicked a lit match at her, setting her on fire. Krug was transported to a local hospital in critical condition, and Barr was charged with aggravated assault and arson. Number 5. Adam Lilienthal. 55-year-old Scott Yorick rented a room for 29-year-old Adam Lilienthal in Andover, Minnesota. However, an argument arose between the two men regarding their living arrangements on June 17, 2014. But once sheriff's deputies arrived at the home, both Yorick and Lilienthal agreed to separate for the evening. Unfortunately, the men did not make good on their promise. Lilienthal claimed Yorick had not been paying his portion of the rent payments and in retaliation took gasoline from the garage up to Yorick's second-floor bedroom and poured it over him while he was talking on the phone. Lilienthal then lit Yorick on fire and left the home. Yorick was able to escape from the bedroom and remove his burning clothes, finally collapsing naked outside the home where a neighbor saw him and called for help. Yorick was transferred to a local burn unit but suffered third-degree burns over 80 to 90% of his body, dying on June 19, 2014. Lilienthal was located and arrested a few hours later. He was charged with first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. Number 4. Arlen Atkinson. 53-year-old Arlen Atkinson and 58-year-old Scott Hupp lived together at a group home named Mail Homes, which provides housing to those with mental and developmental abilities in Minerva, Ohio. The two roommates got into an argument on January 23, 2021, and during the quarrel, Hupp called Atkinson a racist. Hupp's comment was not well received, and in his frustration, Atkinson went to a detached garage to get gasoline. Atkinson then poured the gas not only on Hupp but also on all over his bed and throughout his bedroom. Before lighting the fire and closing the door, Hupp was airlifted to a nearby hospital but sustained burns to over 75% of his body and died in the early morning hours of January 24, 2021. Atkinson was arrested at the scene and later sentenced to life in prison for Hupp's murder. Number 3. Curtis Collyman. 67-year-old Kirby Taylor lived with his son, 46-year-old Dexter Taylor, and a roommate 32-year-old Curtis Holliman in Houston, Texas. Holliman got into an argument with the father and son on the morning of January 18, 2016. But when the argument was over and the two Taylors laughed things off, Holliman became even more furious, stating, "You think that's funny? I've got something for you." Holliman then proceeded to go into his room and retrieved a container of gasoline, which he doused them with before using a barbecue lighter to set them on fire. A neighbor called 911 and the father and son were taken to the hospital. Kirby sustained non-life-threatening burns, but his son Dexter had second and third-degree burns on both his buttocks and legs. Dexter was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Holliman pleaded not guilty to Dexter's murder charges by reason of insanity but was convicted and sentenced to 40 years in prison. Number 2. Uranus Perdomo. 33-year-old Yarenis Perdomo and an unnamed 51-year-old woman were roommates and residents of a homeless women's shelter in New York after the two women got into an argument on the morning of July 11, 2018. Perdomo threw nail polish remover all over her roommate and set her on fire. Perdomo originally fled the scene before the shelter had to be evacuated, but was later captured. The 51-year-old was transported to a nearby hospital burn unit for treatment. Perdomo was charged with attempted murder, assault with intent to cause physical injury, and assault with intent to disfigure, dismember. Number 1. Aman. 27-year-old Raj Kumar and his roommate Aman had arranged to share rent at their residence in Patiala, India. However, when Aman began causing trouble, the landlord naturally had him evicted from the property. Unfortunately, Aman blamed Kumar for being asked to leave and vowed to get revenge. On the morning of March 20th, 2022, Aman went into the footwear shop where Kumar worked as a salesman, poured gasoline on him, and set him on fire in a public display of inhumanity before leaving the store. Kumar was treated at a local hospital. Aman was later captured and charged with attempted murder and trespassing. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.